Welcome back. It's time to talk to my brain, who apparently is stuck in a fart machine. Kind of makes a weird squishy sound.
Well, well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been, Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again? Ah, well, as to that, you'd be surprised how hard a feminine-sounding voice modulator is to find in the Forbidden Zone. It's not as though brain-sustaining life support tanks grow on trees. I had to take what I could get. Ah, lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie?
What a dick. There you go.
Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, quote, dick, unquote. As if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes. I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge. And have we forgotten who got us shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave? Do you think I enjoyed that little moment?
I didn't realize my brain was such an idiot.
I most certainly am not. I'm the seat of all reason and logic in our little partnership. All those feelings that motivate you, that sense of righteousness and that rush you get when you help someone, do you know where those come from? Glands. They come from glands. Free of the tyranny of your ape-like and primitive endocrine system, I can see how foolish your motives are.
I guess like the other brains, you become an idiot when you get put in a jar.
Well, look, it's all a very complex system of biofeedback and other things I wouldn't expect you to understand. Oh, all right. Perhaps I am, but at least I'm logical about it. After the think tank extracted me from your skull, they fell to bickering amongst themselves. I'm sad to say we were quite forgotten about. Dr. Mobius saw an opportunity to gain some leverage and had me spirited away to his dome.
Yeah, he does seem pretty unlikely, and I wonder why he's taken up for Mobius so much.
Hardly. Dr. Mobius keeps a close optical sensor on the goings-on at the think tank. As soon as he saw the opportunity, he took it. I don't know. I'm afraid the trauma of our separation rendered me quite insensate. I didn't come around until I was safely ensconced in this tank. I'm quite sure whatever he did was highly scientific, though.
Yeah, I kind of doubt that. But
Well, as long as your curiosity is satisfied.
not really. I just didn't have any other option. Okay. Asking this again.
I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing. Look at it from my perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you. Overrated biological feedback. Believe me, you only feel that way because you've got all that meat. Oozing hormones.
Yep.
I suppose you're right. That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it? Indeed, quite the conundrum. How do you suppose we resolve it? I suppose there might be some advantage to that, yes. There's a chance that the reintegration would create some improved synergy between us.
This is ridiculous.
Well, I suppose you've convinced me well enough. I'll rejoin your body if that's your final decision. Unfortunately, before we get to that stage of the proceedings, we have a problem. Even if I could settle myself back in your skull and reconnect all those pesky nerve endings, Dr. Mobius doesn't have the tools here. We would have to make use of Dr. Klein's lab, and I rather doubt the brains are inclined to share. And you believe them? Really? I know you were recently deprived of my fabulous advice, but... Really? Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the whole Mojave will be their playground. And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead. Well, I suppose I do miss those endorphin rushes when we save the day. All right, what's the plan?
So see, here's where it went wrong before. It was, we'll make them, let's go, and then you stay here, you'll be more useful outside my head. Like, I thought it would let me come back later. But if I choose that, he goes on some little rant about how we're going to be separate forever, and he's going to stay here. So, alright.
Right! Look out, think tank! This brain is coming out of its jar! I suppose now that we're reunited, you'll want to fill your torso up with those other meaty parts the think tank took from us. Personally, I think your upgrades are quite a bit better. But now that I'm with you, the Sync's autodock can plug them back in no problem. Right then, off we go. Klein will be in for a nasty shock when he realizes the pacification field won't work on a mind and body reunited.
Okay. So I guess I have my brain in my inventory. That's kind of strange. Let me see. Items. This. Let's see if it says your brain. Yes, your brain. There it is. It weighs nothing. Fitting, my brain weighs nothing. Okay. So, let me see if there's anything from Mobius before I leave. He probably doesn't have anything new to say, but I might as well check. Oops.
Oh, I see you and your brain reached a compromise. How pleasant. I hypothesized after the indignant frequencies my receptors had recepted, such a partnership-based conclusion would be low on the likely scale.
Oh, can I have a Mentat?
Why, of course you can. I am well versed in the science of sharing. Well, when not chemmed out of my sphere.
Okay, so, let's see. I'm not gonna kill him after all.
If I recall, I had a plan that was working, whatever it was. I don't think it reached fruition. I would recall fruit if it had happened. I wasn't trying to kill them, just keep them out of trouble. What was that plan? Blast! I probably wrote it down on the floor somewhere. Something ingenious and needlessly complicated, I expect. I may have already told you and forgotten it. I forgot I had forgotten pencils until one day I found one. Spent days studying its purpose before my memory circuit kicked in. Felt quite silly.
Okay, why am I asking advice of this lunatic? Let's ask about not using violence.
Well, you could try and appeal to their humanity. That's a tired cliche. And really, when they were humans, they weren't very good humans.
It's not hard to believe.
Well, there's many things they have forgotten, sitting in their bowls. Friendship, the thrill of discovery. Love, masturbation, the usual. Much like your brain, I am certain there is something you can spark within each of them. Memories, hormones. A wise man once said, "The eyes do more than see. Make them see, if you can. Or, if not, you can always make them succumb to fear." It certainly worked for me, for a time. Then you came along, and bravery and/or desperation trumped that little idea. Back to the drawing board, I suppose. Or is this the end? Hard to tell. No, tell them I'm still alive. We had a nice chat, and we agree on a few things. That's true, isn't it? Or you could kill me and lie about it. Either way, it would be interesting. And if you are partial to lying and deception, well, you could tell them a ludicrous lie. The more over the top, the better. That's my experience. They're more than a little gullible. Better make it convincing, though, or it'll be the dissection table and vivisectors for you. And if you speak of me, please try and make me look good. I am Dr. Mobius, after all, not some lab assistant teacher's aide.
Actually, I kind of like him.
Indeed. The goodbye part of our little chat, then. Goodbye. Please mind the equations on the floor.
Okay, and see where he's written on the floor. I guess that's writing. Okay. So, off to the think tank. And I have a feeling I'm going to fast travel. Cut through here. I don't know which way is the quickest way to the floor, but that seems good enough. And then somewhere I need to go back up on the other side to get to the door. Maybe over here. Okay, there's nothing hostile here, so I am going to fast travel. And hang on a second. It's 2 a.m. and I never tried to get all the way up on the top. I know I got up here and checked these out. I just feel like there's got to be something higher. Nope, can't get up on here. Forgive me for this, but I've been meaning to check out up top for a while. I'm gonna see if I can go up one of these other ones, maybe. Probably wind up fighting lobotomites, but that'll be alright because I saved a bunch of time by fast travel. Alright, let's see.
Uh-oh.
Yes, here come lobotomites. Alright, there we go. Make him come to me.
Is that all?
I hope so, but usually there's a third one. Oh, and that leveled me up. Crazy. It just happens way too often now. Okay, I've got barter at 80. What other things do I not have? Okay, I get survival to 80. And then maybe 10 points into unarmed. And 4 into sneak. Alright. Now it's getting harder to find anything that's worthwhile here. I'm almost certain I'm going to go on ahead and install a mod that'll let me do more intense training, because most of these are just so... I could take that broad daylight now and then don't have to worry about my Pip-Boy, but I kind of spoils the... I like having to choose. You know, do I want to see things and risk being spotted, or... Man Machine, Pinhead, I'm thinking about those. Shame that Tunnel Runner doesn't work. And my strength is at 6 with the Brainless perk. So I don't know why I can't actually get this burden to bear. Makes me annoyed. Okay, and then those are 50. Shoot. Them's good eating might not be bad. It's a little gross, but it might be useful. Shoot. And that child at heart, like I said, I don't know where I'm going to run into children, but the very fact that it says I'll get better interactions with children makes me think there's a point where that's going to be interesting or useful. It does give me better prices. I've got a lot of money already, but I'll take Mad Bomber for now, even though I still have not looked it up. I just can't see anything else that's... I mean, all of these are kind of... can eat mutated insects when I'm in sneak mode. You know, yeah, okay. Here we go. Alright, and let me run back and get the other stuff off that guy. Alright, where'd he go? I've gained the Piercing Strike perk. Where did the body go? Oh, there it is. Kind of flew back. Gonna see what that Piercing Strike is. It must be something to do with raising my unarmed. So, Piercing Strike makes all of my unarmed and melee weapons negate 15 points of damage threshold on the target. Oh, wow. That actually is... that's pretty significant, actually. Alright, I'm going to keep trying to go around here and see if I can find one of these ramps that I can go up. If, whoops. God dang it. Sorry about this, I'm being a klutz. Alright, how about this one? Is this one too steep? I don't understand, it seems like they should all be the same. And the first two I can climb up, but not these, okay. Well, I guess there's only this one to try, and then I'm running back around to the front, so... And they're probably going to be those 4 to fight back here, I bet. Or no, I guess there's one more side after this. Okay, is there any... No, I cannot jump up there. Okay. Sorry for this fool's errand. Although this one actually looks a little less steep than the others. How about you? How about it? Come on. Oh, there you go. Hey, hey, hey. I'm making it. Okay. So can I get all the way on top? No. Ah. I thought. Ah.
Do you like me?
Yes, I do, but I don't like not being able to jump higher. Okay. Well, there's one more. I mean, this is where the fours sometimes are. If I sprint, they may spot me, but I'll kill them. Alright. Let's try this one. Okay, I cut out me running all the way around and trying to jump up. And then I realized I could jump onto these lights right there. And if I fall, though, I fall to my death. And so I kept trying and kept dying and kept trying and kept dying, but now I'm up here.
Are we being watched?
So I'm sorry, I wound up stopping recording, and I don't want to go through a bunch of attempts again to see if I can make it. So, well, this may be kind of pointless, but I just had to see. Me in high places and jumping, it's almost an obsession, like getting tin cans. Oops. And looks like it's worthless. I'm on the last side, so unless there's something way up top, which kind of seems like it would roll down. Ew. Don't fall, don't fall. Ah! It was worth it. The burned out light. Follower's doctor. Doctor's code. Okay. Whoa, don't wanna... Was this one easier to jump up or something? I don't think so. I think I found the only way to get up. I don't know for sure though. Alright, one more thing to make by, but... Yeah, maybe if I convert my stealth over to the... to being a computer, my suit, I'm going to wear that doctor suit if I don't care about protection, because it looks kind of cool. Alright, oh, there's one more side to go, so there might be something else. I don't think there was anything that was super important other than how that outfit looks. It didn't look like it had any superpowers or anything. Alright. Okay, here we come. Last place to... Oh, come on. Am I gonna fall here? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, I made it. Good. I was gonna say, make it almost all the way home. And... kablamo. Alright. Okay. And it's gonna be Think Tank showtime. Let me see though. I wanna see what that doctor's thing does. Only gives me +5 science, so it doesn't do anything special. No damage resistance.
Don't you like me anymore?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just need to check out my new suit. Turn off my light, tack, and night vision. Oh, it's 5 a.m., so it's bright outside. Good. And let's see. Whoops, stop sneaking. What do I look like? It's kind of dirty. Yeah, it's not as cool as I thought. Still not bad. If I could find a clean version of it. Kind of like a little coat and having a little medical equipment there. Ooh, that's bad. My big gun goes behind and clips right through my backpack. Alright. So, let me switch back to the suit. And then,
Did you even know you were wearing me?
Yes, I did. Sorry I had to take you off. Now you're gonna check your... Okay. Make sure I'm ready to finish this
We're
one.
okay on Stimpaks. Medic supplies adequate.
It's all red now. So... Okay. Let's hope I don't have to kill him. It's all nasty and red. Alright. What do you gotta say, dude? Let's start talking to the others. O's okay. Let's see what he
Klein's
says.
an impatient man. Wouldn't keep him waiting.
Okay. Got nothing.
Until our next...
What about Dala?
You should really see, Dr. Klein. We're all awaiting the results of your experiment.
Okay.
Until...
What about you? You're supposed to back me up? Because I bribed you. Okay, nothing. I'm not even going to try the jerk. Okay. Let's see, Klein. I don't want you looking down on me. So, let's...
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped?
See, both these will threat, and I'll have to kill them. This sounds vaguely like a threat, but settle might be. Okay.
I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite. Now, your brain. Hand it over, or we'll extract it again.
Yeah.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground for our experiments.
Yeah. I don't want to pretend to be Mobius. This is sort of threatening with Mobius. I could probably get away with that. All these are... There's going to be a fight. So let's see. Confer with his colleagues.
Nonsense! Confer, colleagues? Those are two words I do not recognize.
Dr. Klein, I must intersect. Please, do not harm the lobotomite.
I'm not going to harm it. I'm going to dissect it until it's dead. Why the sudden intersection, Dala?
I cannot stand a sweet breathing organism, breathing in and out to suddenly not breathe. We must keep it alive. For study. Slow study.
Dala, these vocalized pauses are unlike you. What do you care?
Klein, this lobotomite, it's a great sounding board. You respect ideology, right? This one's, well, it's got good ideas.
Silence, Dr. O. This is a think tank decision. Save your objections until after I have decided our course of action.
You know what, Klein? Stick a straw in your tank and suck yourself. Long and deep. And my name is Zero. Yeah, a big, fat zero with a slash through it.
The slash as a designator of... Why, that is brilliant. But how did you...
The lobotomite taught me that. Taught me a name is more than, that I should take pride in things like names. And you know what? Forget it, Klein. I hate you. And your theory of brain-gill beam oscillation? The Chinese had it first, you copycat.
How dare you? Brainial beam oscillation was solely my discovery. I expressly told you that and deleted all evidence to the contrary. It's 2-8. Why are you acting like this? You've never refused to commit necessary surgery before. And this lobotomite needs its surgery. What is wrong with you? You sound brain-scrubbed, blindly agreeing with the lobotomite. What?
If I may, I feel as if I must be the voice of reason here. This lobotomite is much like us. Regarding even animals and pets as nothing more than avenues to promote science. There is good here. Instead of ending its life on the table, we should prolong its suffering in the name of science. Like good old Gabe, the finest of lab specimens.
Why am I even listening to you fools? Enough of this mutinous chorus. If there's a word I hate, it's mutiny. And the word jism, which never made any sense to me. It's ridiculous putting j and zm together like that. Nonsense! I count as 5, like the mighty human hand I once had, with its 5 penises clenched in a fist.
Okay, so it paid off doing all their little side quests. And, yeah, oh, and by the way, Dala, I was thinking that was the one that Mobius didn't explain as, you know, Klein being the Klein bottle, Mobius 0, the infinity symbol of 8, Boris being Ouroboros, and then Dala. He didn't explain, but it's probably Mandala. And the man is missing. In the pictures, they're all men, and I kind of think Dala is actually a man. But anyway, Mandala. So... Alright, God, does this lead to the fighting and killing him? Or, yeah, I'll try this. Let's see.
Nonsense! The mathematics of this situation are on our side, lobotomite. I believe... No, wait. Carry the 2, then... If this were a democracy, I would be concerned. We are too scientific for that. So just surrender. You dare use logic against me? That's no deal at all. There's a whole world beyond the crater, filled with ideas and possibilities. We could have escaped, seen it all for ourselves, tested it, prodded at it, made it squirm.
There are plenty of things that would blow your little brain thing open, so you wouldn't actually be able to test on things. You wouldn't have your pacification field. Yeah, I want to say he can do it here quietly, or I can bring it to him. I'll say this.
For you? And for science? I have a strange sensation that I would like that. How odd. Very well, partner. The think tank is at your service as long as you do not destroy us.
I won't destroy you. Leave the think tank. See if there's any... I'll just check my favorite first of these guys. Mobius is actually my favorite.
So is Mobius as twisted as he looked in person? Can't believe you entered the Forbidden Zone and lived. None of us can.
Yep. Okay, so he's got no new options.
Until our next schedule...
Let's see about Dala.
The teddy bear lobotomite returns. My teddy bear. How can I assist in relieving your curiosity? Until our next interaction, my intriguing little lobotomite.
Alright, and I'll pass on the others. If they didn't have anything. Got a little bit of promise with getting a different response than the first one. Alright, so I have a feeling the movie's going to start here. If that's true, I'll be quiet, and at the end of the episode there, and then I will start the next chapter with a review of where we've been, and I will probably in between have cleaned out
like me?
Yes, I do. Cleaned out all of my stuff and returned to the Mojave. So, thanks for watching.
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others. Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The Sync Central Intelligence Unit was impressed by the amount of exploration the courier had undertaken. Facilities believed lost, destroyed, or ones that had simply gotten up and walked to new locations had been rediscovered by its intrepid new master. Internally, the artificial personality debated as to whether it preferred the old management to the new, and concluded that the courier's thorough approach to research and investigation was admirable and worthy of its respect.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The Sync atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The Biological Research Station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat. One of them eventually transferred to the Lightwave Dynamics plant, and began a long, unrequited affair with one of the holograms.
The Sync continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magnetohydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the Big Empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean. Once it learned of the innovative toxins plant, however, it gained new purpose. It sought to develop antitoxins to flush into its drains and counteract the poisons bleeding into the soil.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. After one of its more psychotic episodes, however, the other Sync personalities decided enough was enough and dumped the toaster in a bathtub. Sparking and hissing, the toaster swore its enemies would rue the day when they had bread and no way to toast it.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest,
he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind old Jefferson, with sounds the courier brought him, created a symphonic counter-frequency that saved Big Mountain from sonic invasion in 2910. If you didn't hear about it, good. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names much too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X-8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit until it could upgrade it no more. It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after, the stealth suit had left it, without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes, looking for its wayward technology. It eventually found Repcon HQ, and set up a new research center, testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
The courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the courier's brain was more clever than most.
Dr. Klein and the think tank remained alive, unaware of the world outside. They looped through their daily routine, none the wiser about the world beyond, although perhaps wiser was the wrong word. The world outside belonged to the courier, and if anyone would shape it, well, the courier had already called dibs.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, Old World Blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues and new world hope. and hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal Ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
Hurrah!